Hey you guys, happy holidays and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys like the new intro. So today I am just going to be making some cute stocking tags for my family stockings. I didn't want to pay $10 each for the wooden hanging ones, although they were cute. So I just put a little bit of creativity into it and decided to make my own with some things I had on hand. Of course, the first part of this video is just me going through and making the design in Canva. And so yeah, if you're interested in this video and seeing how these stocking tags came out, keep on watching. So for anybody that doesn't know, I am a mom of 3 and I have my husband. So we have a family of 5, which is a pretty large family. So when it comes to getting things like Christmas stockings and Christmas decorations, you know, personalized things, it can become pretty expensive. So I'm trying this season to do as many things as I can on my own, just as I did with the Christmas pajamas. If you have not seen my Christmas pajama video, that is the last video I believe I put up. But yeah, go ahead and check that out on my channel as well as all the other videos that I have. I'm getting close to 400, so I'm I'm cautiously optimistic that I can hit 500 by January 1st. I'm not quite sure though, you know, because ebbs and flows. It goes faster sometimes and it goes slower sometimes, so we'll see. But yeah, so right here you just see me going through and I am deciding how I want the tags to look, and I'm gonna make each tag identical pretty much, and I'm just making them with the names in red, and then I'm putting some cute snowflakes in the background. And I did that for each one. And then once I get done doing that, I'll go ahead and I will print it out on my sublimation paper, and then I will press it, and you'll see that in the second clip of the video. So I'll just let you continue to watch. I believe I'm almost done with this design part though. It didn't take too long. So this fabric that I'm using here is just some scrap fabric that I have. I believe it's Twill. I talked about it in a few of my other sublimation videos. I did get it from Amazon and I just still have like a bunch of it left. I use it when I'm trying to like test out colors, or I need to test out a design, maybe scaled down, but I don't want to like put it on my shirt, you know, just yet. That's what I use that fabric for. I've also used it to make a pencil case, and this time I'm going to use it for these sublimation stocking tags. So as you can see, I printed out my design and I cut it out, and I did cut it apart a little bit so that it can fit, all of them can fit at one time on my heat press. And I'm just gonna face them down, and then I'm gonna tape them down. And once I do that, I'll, you know, go through the normal procedure. I'll add my butcher paper on the top, and then I'll press them. I'm gonna press at 400 for 60 seconds. Sometimes my heat press goes down a couple of degrees, or so it's probably around 398, 399. I can't really tell in the video, but sometimes it just like hovers between 400 and like 398, but it still does the job. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to put my second piece of butcher paper over top of those, and then I'm going to press them, and once that's done, we will move on to the next part. So now that they are done, I'm going to go ahead and remove that. I'm just showing you there the ink on the top butcher paper. So it is always necessary, as well as the bottom butcher paper. It's always necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and just peel back my transfers. Now, although the paper still looks like it has a lot of ink in it, it released a bunch of ink, and they are like really dark, really vibrant. The red is really vibrant. So I'm happy with how they turned out. And the next thing I have to do, or the next step in making these tags, is I'm gonna grab my fabric scissors and I'm gonna cut each one of them out and get ready to sew them together. To add a little bit more, I don't know, body to these tags, I cut out some canvas that I have. It's like a medium weight canvas. It is gray. I just went ahead and cut out that the same size as I cut out my tags in. And I'm gonna go ahead and go through and sew all around 3 sides of each one of them. And once I'm done sewing them all together, we'll come back and we'll do the next step. Now, one thing I can say is, as I was sewing these, I needed to make sure that I was sewing, because I didn't cut them out like identical. I should have made sure that I had I sewed them together and had enough seam allowance on both, on both parts of the fabric, because on a few of them I had to go back because there were holes, because when I flipped the fabric over, the fabric was a little too short on one side and I didn't realize it. So I did have to do that on a couple of them, and I went back and I corrected myself. And once I'm done sewing them all together, I'll go back and trim around the edges as well as cut the corners, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next step. Now right here at this point when I'm trimming, I'm just making sure I'm trimming close to the stitches. I'm making sure not to trim through the stitches, as well as I'm clipping the corners. This is where I figured out that I had made a mistake on some of them, and there were a couple of holes that I needed to go back and I needed to return them out and flip them and sew them again, and then turn them out again. So I did that on all of them, and then I just made sure I turned them all out neatly, and then we're going to move on to the next step. I'm just showing you here me going back and correcting my mistake. This is just a clip of me going back and sewing a little inside the stitches I had already made to make sure that I'm getting getting both of the fabrics in at the correct seam allowance. Now that I'm done with that part, I'm simply going to take each one of these and I'm going to fold in the end that is still open, and I'm going to clip them all together I'm going to do it to all 5 of them. I'm going to just clip it together, and then I'm going to top stitch around the entire sewing tag, and that's how we will finish these off. So you'll see me here. I'm going to clip all the way around. I'm trying to pull out the side seams as much as possible, so they'll be like not a perfect rectangle, but they'll be, you know, a good shaped rectangle. And then trying to pull out those corners just a little bit more. They aren't perfect because I didn't want to continue to poke out the corners with my scissors or something sharp, because this fabric was fraying really bad, and I think that was also contributing to how many holes it was getting in the ends of it. So I just went ahead and left them how they are, and they still look nice in the end, you'll see. So yeah, I'm just going to continue to do that with all 5 of these, and then we'll come back on the next part. So now that I have all 5 of these done, I'm going to just go ahead and top stitch around the edge. I say I'm maybe an 1/8. It's maybe an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance around all 4 parts of the sewing tag or stocking tag, and I am just making sure that I am doing it uniformly. It won't really matter too much because I'm using black thread on top, so you won't really see it. But yeah, I'm just going to take my time and do that all around. Now, I know my sewing machine, just like many other people's sewing machine, likes to eat the fabric at the start. So I was having that issue. So I just recommend starting a little past the beginning of your, the edge of your project, or using a little, giving it a little push, or grabbing it from the other side and pulling as you're sewing. Not pulling very hard, but just pulling a little bit, and it'll get it going. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through and finish all 5 of these, and then I will show you how I'm gonna add our string to hang these tags. So here they are, all done. I love the way they turned out. Please excuse all the random threads and everything. I'm gonna lint roll them when I'm done. Like I said, this fabric, not so much the poly twill fabric, but the canvas fabric, it was really fraying a lot. So yeah, here they are. I got all 5 of them done. Like I said, I just used materials I had on hand. Sublimated fabric I used, canvas that I already had, thread, and I'm also going to use something I had on hand for the tag part as well. So these are tags that came with some Christmas ornaments that I had, or not tags, strings that came with some Christmas ornaments that I had. And I just decided to go ahead and use these to hang my stocking tags. So here I'm just trying to figure out the placement where I want it. This is the awl tool that came with my cam snap press that I'm going to use to make the hole in the fabric. And I'm just going to make a hole, and then I'm going to use a blunt tip quilting needle that I use to tuck my tails from serging. I'm going to use one of those needles, and I'm going to pull my I don't know, string through, and then I'm just going to tie a little knot at the top. And this worked out perfectly. The strings aren't my favorite, but they're what I had, so, and they really didn't make a difference. So either way, it turned out fine, as you'll see in the end. I'm not going to continue talking. I'll just let you watch the rest. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to like, leave me a comment down below, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. And I just want to say happy holidays, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.